Hi friends, welcome to week 2 of INST 640. It's been a great start to the semester. Before we talk about what we're going to do in week 2, I want to think a little bit about what we learned in week 1. What's so interesting is that many of the bad experiences of professional development were just the opposite of many of the good experiences of professional development. So for the purpose of this wrap-up, I'm going to talk about the big takeaways that I got from your experiences that we should consider when we are the ones implementing and planning professional development. First of all, time and timing. Several of you mentioned having to attend professional development right at the beginning of the school year, when the last thing you wanted to be doing was that. You wanted to be working in your classrooms. Also thinking about professional developments that drag on and on and on. A very important thing to consider is the relevance, especially for people who are specialists such as music or physical education educators. These kinds of things where we have to attend a professional development that is about nothing to do with our teaching are very frustrating. So you want to always keep in mind who the target audience of the professional development is. You all talked about how frustrating it is when we have a professional development facilitator who is not prepared. Don't be that person. In this class and in the next class, you'll be really thinking about how you can use data to make sure you are prepared for your professional development facilitation. You also talked about how you liked it when the instructor or the facilitator provided resources during the professional development, but also ones that you could go back to for that ongoing support. A big pet peeve for most of you was being bored. We are like our students. We want active learning. Don't just stand there and talk at me. Get me engaged, get me collaborating, get me trying things. And finally, you all talked about the importance of having a facilitator who knows the climate of the school. And that's where teacher leadership, and in particular in-house facilitators, or you as a classroom teacher also working as a professional development facilitator. Now let's look at week 2. You have some reading if you have not already read chapters 8 and 9 in an earlier course. As you read about the eye makers and digital tools, think about your why. I'm having you revisit this reading along with looking at the standards, because the end goal of technology leadership and being a change agent is the students. As technology leaders, you'll be charged with helping teachers help students. I'm also having you read the INST standards. These standards have evolved over the years, and I think you'll find them useful as a framework for thinking about technology leadership. You should be familiar with the coach standards because you've been working on the portfolio document in your classes. But have you ever stopped and looked at the teacher and the student standards? Once again, as a technology change agent, your ultimate goal is to enhance the learning and the learning environment for the students. As we continue, I'll be encouraging you to focus on standards and issues rather than the teachers. After all, we don't like to be reminded of our deficits, but we're all educators and we'll all attend professional development because we want to best support student learning. Focusing on standards shifts the focus away from the individual and onto the end goal. Similarly, focusing on the 21st century skills helps us to support our colleagues advance their use of technology without making them feel inadequate. What's interesting is the 21st century skills have been around a pretty long time. I mean, think about it. We're in the 24th year of the 21st century. Are you seeing evidence of these skills in your workplace? The other reading for this week is for you to get a sense of what a crosswalk is. They're not as easy as one might think, but I do think you will see that they're a great way to get both a bird's eye view and an up-close view of the multiple factors that impact learning all in one place. This reading is in preparation for the first assignment. So, after you've spent several hours on the reading and the content, join discussion 2.1. Be honest. If you knew nothing about the standards, just say so. What struck you about the various sets of standards and the essential conditions? Do you see connections between the 21st century skills, the standards, and the eye makers? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just looking for honesty and depth. Finally, preview the crosswalk assignment. As a technology leader and a change agent, you want to be able to talk about these standards with confidence. Knowing how they connect will help you entice educators, which includes administrators and support staff, to think about technology integration more purposefully. It's going to allow you to answer that "why is this important?" question that people ask when attending professional development. Week 2 is to understand the assignment and pick a standard that resonates with you. Stake your claim for that standard in discussion 2.2. In week 3, you'll spend a lot of time developing your crosswalk. Then it's submitted in week 4 after you have given each other feedback. That is it from me. Have a great week, and I am around for whatever you need.